so freaking cool. I'm awesome. You see me? Woo! Hopefully I don't back up into somebody. Later, bitches. All right, let me put this thing on a pause. All right. So now, today I'm going to talk about why I think the 2-bucket wash method is kind of a farce. You know, it's a complete waste of time in my opinion. And I think there's a much simpler and better method. What's better than the 2-bucket wash method? Well, I'll tell you. The 1-bucket wash method. Dun-ach. Now, before you say anything, I know this sounds silly, like, how is 1 bucket better than 2? You know, it's actually pretty simple. You just need to change the way you think. What's better than the 2-bucket wash method is using 1 bucket, and instead of having both buckets full of water, you have one that's empty, and you basically just have a pile of, you know, a little bit nicer microfiber towels that you can use, like, essentially as wash mitts. And instead of reusing them and, you know, risking something sticking to your wash mitt even after you use the 2nd bucket to, like, rinse it off, you're just getting a whole new towel, and therefore you have 0 chance of getting more debris on the car. So, and risking scratching that, you know, nice shiny coat there. So I'm just gonna demonstrate that. Oh, what the? Oh, man, I'm such a clumsy tumsy. Like, where's wash and wax? Jesus, I don't want to just get rid of this product. You know, I'm rich and all that. So I got my, you know, my famous yellow bucket. I love these things. I don't know why they're so expensive though. Probably got ripped off. Oh, man, it's dim in here. My car is fairly clean right now, so I'm not too worried about doing a really good job here. Exterior cleaning, you need a drying towel. You need obviously a pressure washer. Well, you don't need a pressure washer. I suppose you could just use a hose. And you just need some hands and some microfibers. I'm in the car. Wow, I'm so cool. I'm so cool. Frick, why did I have to mess it up the first time? Guess who wasn't paying attention? Well, their bucket was getting loaded with water. Ugh. God dang. Oh, frick, whoops. Well, at least I know I got water in there. So what I like to do when I'm, you know, doing these washes is first I'll do a foam cannon stage. So foam it down, let it sit for a little bit, and then I'll rinse it off with some water, and then I'll hand wash it and do the same thing. So let me plug this in. It's not gonna work right now, if you couldn't tell. So here I'm just priming it, just letting the air go through. So it's sat for a pretty decent amount of time. So I'm just gonna start washing it. Let's do it. Let me tell you guys something. This is the perfect time of day to do this stuff when it's, you know, a little later in the day. It's about like 5 right now. You know, nothing's gonna dry super quick. My problem is I always wanna do stuff in the morning. That's when the sun's bad. and then it dries. It just doesn't look good. So this is where I use the 1 bucket wash method. Just got my 1 bucket. I got a couple of really high GSM microfibers, Eagle 500. Love these bad boys. Just gonna give them a nice dunkage in the soap tank. And we'll start hand washing. So this is where the other video got cut off. So basically I'll just have my towel here, nice and spread out. And you want to start at the areas that are going to be less dirty, which is going to be like your hood, you know, the top of the vehicle. And usually I would do sections, so I'd do, you know, the top and one of the sides, and then I'd rinse it down, and then, you know, work like that, one section at a time, because, you know, you don't want the soap to dry on. With the foam, it applies like super quick, but when you're hand washing, it takes a little longer, which means the risk of drying is a lot higher. So I'm gonna flip it around. And you don't wanna put it back in the tank, because then you'll get, you know, your dirt in there, and that'll just be a problem. So that's why it's important. You got a lot of these to work with. And this is where the other bucket comes in. You can just put this in the other bucket. Trust me, there's a bucket there. So now that I'm done, I can put it back in the bucket because it doesn't matter. And let's rinse it off again. So I got my liquidator drying towel. You can dry a whole car easy peasy, lemon squeezy, which is what I said in the last video, but you guys missed it. So when you're drying, you wanna hit the windows first and also the mirrors, because if the water dries and it's hard water, you're gonna get really bad spotting, and that's an instant like turn off for the customer. So you want to make sure that you're getting, you know, the spots that they're going to notice like right away at least. With the drying towel, you want to be careful not to like put on too much pressure, because if new debris falls onto the car, like from a tree, you don't want to scratch up anything, and you want to be careful not to drag this thing on the ground. It's a lot easier than you'd think. I forgot I filled that water bucket with 9 gallons of water. Foam rinse, hand wash rinse, and your car will be looking good as new. Thanks for coming to the channel. Have a good one.